There are few things that grab a child's attention like a model train speeding past. And if you've ever put a toy train around the Christmas tree or tried to set up a model train layout in the garage, the San Diego Model Railroad Museum will inspire the whole family.
Ooh, and it's coming right up close.
The trains may be small, but the San Diego Model Railroad Museum holds one of the largest model railroad displays in the world.
And this is huge. It's the biggest I've ever seen. So it's amazing.
When you walk in, you see color, you hear sound, you see movement, and that's why I think it's so much fun.
The museum features rare and historic models and 5 scenic train layouts in 3 different size scales.
This is the toy gallery, but we're also known as the San Diego Three Railers. That's our club name.
The train layouts are all built and run by members of 4 local model railroad clubs. Volunteers from the clubs provide their trains and a wealth of information.
That's what the museum is all about, is to interact with the public so that the public knows what model railroading is all about.
We've got a scale train mine, which is that passenger. It's a silver one that's going to be coming through right.
We bring our own trains. We can't change the layout pretty much. It's pretty much permanent. But the trains change every day, and we run everything from 1920s and 30s all the way up to items that were produced as soon as last year.
Donald Duck.
Minnie Mouse and Mickey.
While the toy train gallery is an imaginary wonderland, some of the train layouts are painstakingly accurate.
The La Mesa Club is building a model of Tehachapi Pass from Bakersfield to Mojave. These guys are really into modeling the real railroad as closely or as accurately as we possibly can. We can go back to the 1950s. We can show the people what kind of equipment ran across the railroad. We have operating sessions where we publish our timetable, and that's exactly how the railroads were run back in those days. So it is keeping a bit of history alive.
A lot of people say that trains built the Southwest. Once the Transcontinental Railroad came in, the town started to sprout up all around the railroad tracks and everything, so it really started to build it.
We think we're doing a fairly decent job of representing in this layout San Diego County and an Imperial County in the year 1949. And that just happens to be when we had the trolley system in San Diego. If you look at the building structures that you see here, they are replicas of actual buildings that existed in that time frame.
More than 3 million visitors have been through the San Diego Model Railroad Museum since it opened in its current space in 1982.
I think they've come to appreciate the detail that it takes and the coordination that this layout represents almost 30 years worth of building, like block by block, piece by piece. I would not even know how to estimate over 30 years how much time and energy is really gone in.
Volunteers, including a tour guide, are on hand anytime the museum is open.
Our first stop today will be at the O scale. This is our O scale.
I think it's because they feel they're offering a contribution. They're protecting a heritage of railroading, that have a feeling that railroading has a value to San Diego and California in the future, and then to preserve some of the memories that they had themselves.
It's a tie with the past. We have so many people who come in that are older that remember real trains, and we run models of real trains, so they have ties with their past. Their grandfather worked for the Virginian Railroad or the Chesapeake and Ohio or the Union Pacific, and they start telling stories about their grandfather who was an engineer or a dispatcher or something like that. I had my first train when I was 6 years old from Santa Claus, and it sort of can take me back to those days when it was much simpler.
This is fun. It really, truly is fun. When the kids see it, they always want one. And we've helped a lot of families get started with model trains.
I have Thomas trains, and that's just about it. But I might stop by the gift shop today and pick up one of those electric trains.
Every time we go to a museum, we always say we got to get the garage cleaned out so we can try to do something like that.
They're claiming that it's dying out. these trains, but down here you wouldn't know it.
Wow, with all the detail in those layouts, you could spend days trying to soak it all in.